Hello friends! In this quick video, we'll be going through the most basic of applications, Hello World, and localizing it. For those unfamiliar with localization, localization is the process of adjusting an application's behavior and UI to a specific country or region. We'll start with a new Hello World console app. Next, let's add a few resource files where we'll move our string literals. Let's take our first step by localizing the Hello World string. Hovering over our value, we can see writer hinting that it can be localized. We'll use a refactoring action to move this string into our program resource file. The value of Hello World is visible inside the Localization Manager. The Localization Manager makes it easier to see, edit, and remove resource values. Back in our code, we can see writer has already replaced the string with our strongly typed resource property. Let's add another resource file, which we'll use to explore more of the possible refactoring in writer. For our first action, let's move the value from one resource file to the other using the Move to Resource refactoring. We can see the changes reflected in our codebase. Let's also change the property name from Hello World to Hello Everyone by using the Rename Resource refactoring. Curious about usages of our resource? We can use Find Usages. Given the simplicity of our app, we should find our one instance. Back in our Localization Manager, let's add a new culture. Sprichst du Deutsch, anyone? We'll go ahead and add German using the two-letter ISO code of DE. Using the intuitive grid of the Localization Manager, we can set the German value to Hello Welt. Within the left-hand pane, we can see all our resource files along with the cultural variations. Here we could toggle the checkboxes to find resources more easily. Back in our code, let's change the current UI culture, which the Resource Manager uses to determine the current culture we want the user to see. In this case, we're switching from our default culture to German. Running our console app, we have success, or as the Germans would say, Erfolg. In addition to moving resources into our resource files, we can use writer to inline values back into our code. In the refactor menu, we can use the inline resource option to turn our resource back into a string literal. We can inline all usages and remove the resource declaration. In this case, let's leave the declaration alone. Writer is also smart enough to know when a string literal is already defined in our resource file, and suggests we use the resource value instead. If we need to modify XML files directly, writer also gives us quick visual cues to resource hierarchies located in the gutter. From the XML, we can right-click on nodes and jump back to the Localization Manager to the exact value of interest. All of the same refactorings are available inside the Localization Manager by right-clicking the value. Here, we'll rename our resource back to Hello World. Resource values can be important structural parts of our application. The Safe Delete feature inside of writer keeps us from deleting important values by ensuring they are not still in use. Back in our code, let's inline the value and remove the resource entry. Our resource files are empty and our application is back to where we started. Thanks for watching this quick overview of localization in .NET. If you'd like to learn more about writer, please visit us at jetbrains.com/writer, and remember to follow us on Twitter for the latest news.